first on this one, or you me too?
It's Sheeta all day.
Done. Wrong. Too much has been put behind Britt Baker. The connection has finally been made between her and the audience. That match with her and Thunder Rosa was, of course, one that people are still going to look at and go, probably one of the best television matches that AEW's ever put out. Fact of the matter stands, I believe, once again, that overall connection is there. Britt Baker has finally moved into her own. She has hit that rarefied air where she can be the Dynabitch heel 1 second and the snarky baby face the next, or that nice little tweener section that everybody loves to try to find. Some do, some don't. I got Baker going over with the championship. This time, it's her time to shine. Sheeta has had a great run with the belt, but I'm going to sound like Vince for a hot second, as in McMahon. There are times when I genuinely wonder how well Sheeta has connected with the mainstream audience. Baker has, finally. I think that this run with the title is going to be a solid one because I think she has surpassed Riho in what Riho was able to do. But I think the belt is going to go to another level now with Britt Baker. So I got Baker all day long on this one. World Tag Team Championship match. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston team up to challenge the Jackson Brothers, the Young Bucks. I will use this phrase for the for the second time in one night, because you're going to hear me use it again in a minute. There's no chance in hell that there's no chance in hell those belts come off the Bucks at this point in time. No matter how over Jon Moxley really is, and no matter how over Eddie Kingston really is, it would be nice to see them with the title belts. But with what they have invested in the Elite storyline all the way across the board. Now, granted, I was also surprised when the Good Brothers lost the belts, but then, of course, who'd they lose them to? New Japan. Plain and simple. Finjuice. Yeah. And so that's where the Impact belts could be flipped, because there was that working arrangement with New Japan Pro Wrestling where the Impact Tag Team Champions could go off to New Japan and defend the belts, or at least make the belts visible in Japan. New Japan can go, hey, look what we've done. We've got the Impact Tag Team Championships. Can't necessarily do that. Although I could be wrong, because didn't Jon Moxley just make an appearance with another promotion this past weekend? Yes, he did. So, even with that being said, they got too much invested in the Elite storyline. Jackson boys keep the belt, much to my chagrin. Phil Stamper, who you got?
See, how are we disagreeing this much on everything? They have put so much momentum to try to get to this point with Moxley and Kingston. I feel that's their only option. In the early days of AEW, we had this conversation on this program where it felt like, man, it must be great to be a Young Buck or a Cody Rhodes, because you will never lose in AEW. And that has been challenged, and especially towards the Young Bucks. I feel that Mox and Kingston, based on how AEW has done things in the past, will be the ones walking away with the tag team championship.
I would like to think you're right. Once again, it's nothing personal toward the Jackson boys. I think that they're a good team. I personally think that Moxley and Kingston can add a new facet to the diamond that is the tag team division. But I think you've got too many other viable, real, full-time tag teams that could benefit from a championship run. That's why it's like, the Bucks won't drop them here, but don't be surprised if they don't lose them, or don't be surprised when they lose them to Jurassic Express in the near future. Stadium Stampede. If the Inner Circle loses, they must disband forever. Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle. Pinnacle got the win at Blood and Guts. Inner Circle took the loss last year at Stadium Stampede. Inner Circle gets the win back this year at Stadium Stampede to where they can continue to stay together and build toward hopefully even better matches and storylines against the Pinnacle. Give me the Inner Circle all day long. Phil?
See, I would actually be really okay if the Inner Circle broke up. I really do feel like it is time for all of them to find a separate path away from them being in the group they've been in. And if there's one thing about AEW that, in one respect, it's so weird because like there are those times when wrestling and all companies are guilty of this, where they keep putting the same people back together again and again and again and again. And AEW's done better at trying to move things around a little bit. I am okay, really, if they break up right now. I think they've done the job they needed to do, and it's time for then the next thing. And that's one key element about Chris Jericho. He always does the next thing. He doesn't stay stable all the time. And Inner Circle has been together now for quite a while. I think it's time the Inner Circle leaves AEW. I'm saying the Pinnacle wins.
And for the AEW World Championship, the champ, Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus the Bastard Pack in a triple threat match. Phil Stampert, hashtag who you got.
I agree with something that you said earlier, and I'm kicking myself for it because I first do not see Orange Cassidy becoming the AEW World Champion right now. I don't feel he's at that level as Orange Cassidy right now. I need to be very specific because Orange Cassidy is a tremendous in-ring talent that people see the quick gif of Orange putting his hands in his pocket and doing a spot that lasts 20 seconds, and they base an entire what they feel is understanding of how his ring work is. And he is a phenomenal competitor.
Yes, he is.
And more skilled than anybody realizes. And so he's going to get there that one day. I don't feel he's there right this moment. Pac, you keep saying Pac.
They even said Pac on television.
He's British. I don't know.
He's from the UK.
I don't know how I feel about him at times because he's also had this weird start-stop relationship in AEW as well. Injury, visa issue or competitive issue, whatever's
COVID.
going on. I feel this is also not his moment. I think Kenny Omega retains the championship.
I think this is a good placeholder match. I believe you've got three very diverse styles in play. I believe Kenny Omega versus Pac would be an excellent match. Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy would be an excellent match. And, of course, Pac, Orange Cassidy, excellent match. Put these three... Go ahead.
Keep going.
You put these three together, this can go one of two ways. This can either be a match of the year candidate or a complete and total cluster bleep. Because right now, the pressure at Beyond Ringside on Twitter, kids, I effing dare you to argue with me on this. All of the pressure in the world is on the shoulders of Kenny Omega because of the investment that has been made in him by AEW, by AAA, by Impact Wrestling. So far, Omega cannot afford a misstep in any match he works. Pac, pickpocket, I don't care. Can help cover any shortcoming that Kenny might have. Orange Cassidy can help cover any shortcoming that Kenny might have in this match. These three should work well together. The other part about it being a complete cluster bleep, that ain't going to happen, kids. No chance in hell. Sorry. But I will use that phrase again now. There's no chance in hell that Omega drops the World Championship right now. Because they have him on this gold trip. What was it called when the Hardys were picking up tag team championships? The Gold Rush or something like that?
Pursuit of Gold.
Yeah. Omega is on this gold rush.
Exploration for gold.
Close enough. Where we go from here as far as what title he might get next, don't know yet. A lot of companies are just now coming back. And how far has the Forbidden Door actually opened? There's still... go ahead.
Now, you go ahead. Because did you actually say your prediction? I'm
Omega wins. Plain and simple. Yeah. That belt is not coming off him anytime soon.
There's a little bug in my brain. You just said something. My brain was already buzzing, and you just said something about the Forbidden Door that made me go like, ding, ding, ding. You know, we haven't quite seen on AEW retaliatory action from Impact Wrestling. Not really. Not at the same level as we've seen AEW on Impact.
For the tag team titles, you're right.
Right. Could this be that opportunity? What if you get a contingent from Impact that comes in and melee ensues?
Because remember, tomorrow night, 2 nights from now on Impact Wrestling, a person that you and I both know very well, you better than me, by a mile, the Draw, Sami Callihan, has a very special message for the world champion, the Good Brothers, and the Elite. What that message is going to be, we don't quite know yet. But knowing the fact that Sami Callihan loves to be that person to draw lightning and controversy in the same breath, if I'm the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, if I'm part of the Elite, watch your back. Continue, please.
Never discount Sami Callihan.
Oh, hell no.
You never know what he's planning, which makes him that much more of a threat to anybody in professional wrestling.
Because he's been a former champion at Impact. So for me, it's very simple.
And him and Kenny have fought each other before.
Oh God, yeah.
So, and he's been to New Japan, so you start putting threads start coming together, and just I don't know, could this be the day? Could this be the? I don't know. I would love to see. I don't know how to word this in a way. I mean, AEW certainly has the number 2 presence in the world of professional wrestling right now, and Impact is third, but it's a far third. And I'm sorry, it just realistically it is. I stick to saying that in 2020, Impact Wrestling had the best wrestling matches of all 4 of the top national companies. Agreed.
With the exception of a couple of things that that was more in 2021, the Pure Tournament.
Yeah. The conglomeration of matches for events, you can never top an event of WWE. I'm sorry, you can the spectacle of it.
Okay, but okay, I gotta throw this in there. The fireworks can't last forever. The pyro doesn't go on forever. Eventually, the bell has to sound, and those in the ring gotta show what they're made of.
And that's when you get a different kind of fireworks, like a Sami Callihan congregation of that joins in and attacks Kenny Omega at the end of this pay-per-view or something like that.
So you see that one coming too.
But that's where my brain is. I don't know. Just something you said just hit me like a Mack truck, and I'm like, oh, Sammy.
Sami Callihan, if you are listening right now, get in touch with, you've got Phil's direct line, you've got me on Facebook and social media. I dare you to come in and let us know in advance what your message is for.
You think he's going to play his hand with me? No.
Well, you and he don't always see eye to eye, but this is not a promotion where the two of you are